Hi Scorpio, and welcome to the Mother Tressa channel. If you're already familiar with this space, welcome back. If you are new to the experience, welcome in. We are here to embrace you with nothing but love and acceptance. So feel free to be your most authentic self wherever you are energetically, be it positive, negative, or neutral. It really doesn't matter. Just come as you are, and I pray that you leave better than you came, okay? Let's get into it. I've been doing a lot of thinking and a lot of searching for like answers and truth as far as like what the point of all of this is, this experience. And I feel like there's definitely a shift that is happening. I've been watching a lot of videos, and the major themes that have been coming up are that we are in a period where we are at the bridge of moving into a new phase, like literally a new dimension, new earth, a new paradigm. And then I got to thinking personally, like, okay, if we are going into a period where a lot of some familiar themes are resurfacing, like we're going into 2020, but for some individuals that have posted videos, and I will try to plug their channels in the description box, they're talking about how we're going back to the 90s energy, the 90s era, if you will. And so I was trying to provoke thought within myself, and I'm like, why is it such a scary and frightful thing to do something new? To look ahead into the future instead of always wanting to go back to times that felt good. You know what I mean? Vibrationally, or when life was good vibrationally. Why do we have to kind of represent or repackage an experience we've already had before? In our now, in our present, and in our futures to come? Like, why is it so important that we duplicate experiences instead of trying to tap into our ingenuity, our genius mindsets, and doing something completely different, and really working on new structures that will work and that are more inclusive for everyone? Because to go back into a time that also felt familiar is going to come with those same restrictions. So it's like, we made progress just to go backwards. You know what I mean? I definitely feel like a lot of you guys are looking at your life and the ways in which you are being progressive and you're moving things along, and things feel dynamic, and they feel like fresh, and they feel functional. But then you're also looking at the areas of your life that are still very much the same. You know what I mean? So you can only propel forward so far as the pendulum swings out. And I just think that it's weird that when it swings back, that it's a backtracking of sorts in behavior, where we kind of, what is that called? Is it called recession? In child development, there's this term, regressing. Okay. In the pendulum swinging back, we tend to regress in behaviors and attitudes and our modes and methods of thinking, instead of taking with us the new insights that we had when we swung out. You know what I mean? I guess it's very hard for humanity as a whole to do that. But that's one of my personal goals. I feel like that's where Scorpio is affecting my life. The 10th house heavy, like in career, and the mark that I'm to leave on the world, right? The impression that I'm supposed to leave behind, and how much of a difference and impact I'm supposed to make in the lives of those that come across my path, who meets up with me energetically at some point for however long they can keep up, because I'm steadily progressing forward. It's really odd to me, the free will that we're given, and just how predictable people are. They will always go back to what feels familiar and what feels safe. So I feel like that's coming up for you guys in a major way. Okay, it doesn't have to be in the same way that I'm articulating it to affect me. This can be just in your own home life. This can be, you have the Ace of Wands coming out as the overlying energy. This can be all about yourself and what's going on an internal level, and your reputation, and your persona, and the impression that you give to yourself, and that energy that you give off into the ether. recruits that hounds you is the Hierophant. What did I say? I definitely picked up on that energy, that like searching and that uncovering, wanting to open Pandora's box due to your own curiosity and wanting to really find that meaning of life, or the meaning of life for you and what your mission is. 2020 is definitely going to be the year, so long as we, are still referencing in terms of time. But it's going to be the year where you better haul ass. It's going to be the year where you can't afford to hold back. Okay? What's real about the situation? You guys have the Fountain card. It's going to be the year of breakthrough for a lot of people. It's going to do a lot of things for a lot of people, which I mentioned on my Twitter, and I'll plug either here or in the description box. I feel like it's always in there with my socials though. But it's the year where you have to remember the tale of the three little pigs, okay? Where you're going to get out of that year whatever you put into it. Because the hard work that you put, you will see the results of your hard work, basically. Because 2020 reduces down to the number 4. And vibrationally, it carries the weight of effort, okay? And action. And being creative and feeling supported. Know that you are being divinely guided as well, and that you are on the right path. And it's all about taking those incremental steps forward to make those marginal gains later. Because what you do in the 4th house, what you solidify, the foundations that you lay, and just how durable they are, right? It's going to test strength in this upcoming year, and your emotional reaction to the difficult things that are to come. Because 2020 is the year where you and us, we are preparing for a battle, okay? And so you really need to make sure that you have all your ducks in a row, that the people that you have as a team, or that the people that you're employing to like fight with you, your soldiers, they're actually trying to get to the same goal. You guys are all trying to accomplish the same thing. Everybody wants the same thing and can move accordingly. And it's understanding that we need different legs. You know what I'm saying? There are pillars to strength. And so you're going to come in with attributes that I don't naturally possess. I'm not going to be envious of that thing. Instead, I'm going to feel inspired by it and see how I can creatively take what you're doing and what's working as far as formulas are concerned with the Hierophant, right? As far as patterns are concerned, and as far as like the truths that have been dug up archaeologically or otherwise, that can speak to the likelihood of something working out in your favor or not. Okay? What's wrong about the situation? The Fool card. This is like slowly waking up to reality, or continuing to stay in a state of ignorance. Because with that, you don't have to face the pressure that comes with being consciously aware of yourself and your surroundings, right? Of being self-aware. The responsibility that then comes with that, where you need more information, the Ace of Swords. But yeah, as I was saying, if I trailed off at all as far as the explanation of 2020 and what that's going to mean for a lot of people, this is you working smarter, then you have to work harder, but without sacrificing or losing the quality of work and wanting to be more efficient. You know what I mean? Because the things that will be coming to test you, coming up against you in this space that we will find ourselves in, you have to make sure that you can combat that whatever you have built can withstand that heat and that pressure, that criticism, you know what I mean? That debate that can come through with this Ace of Swords energy. You have to make sure, where you in doubt, you guys have the Four of Swords and the Six of Wands, if I didn't show you that energy already. And as I was saying, and also piggybacking and going back around to this whole like paradigm, right? When you present a new idea, it's met with a lot of resistance, or reluctance, or it's met with a lot of opposition, if you will. Okay? It's really hard to be progressive and to start a new thing. Let's just to say this, if in this matrix that we live in, some of you guys are coming to the realization of just how much of a matrix and or an algorithm this experience is, you know, how illusory it is. You're coming to accept certain things about this life, right? But it's looking at it like that, like, okay, like if to break through this one matrix only means that we're going into another one that we have to figure out, you know, and crack the code of and beat in order to get to the next level, you know, if there's never an end to the paradigms and we can never, I guess, be free. I don't know how else to articulate that in this very moment. If we really can't be free in any paradigm, why not at least try to construct the best one that works for everybody? Why can't we all win here? I feel like you guys are trying to figure that out, like trying to figure out a way where everybody can win, where what you're putting forth and putting out into the world, into the universe, is something that can actually be of benefit to you, as far as being able to elevate you in your life and be able to put you in positions of power or make you live out that fantasy to some degree, if you will, of wanting to be powerful and or meaningful and leaving an impact on life. But like how it's really serving the greater good of humanity, because the 6 vibrationally belongs to Virgos, which is all about self and service to one's community here. It came through in, I believe, Libra's reading. They had the Page of Coins. If not, it was Virgo's reading. And I meant to touch on the fact that because we're approaching the holiday season, a lot of people are going to just be feeling like very filled and in full of love and warmth and generosity. So I feel like community service events and opportunities are really going to be coming in heavily and can really do a lot of good for those that find themselves involved in that and giving back to others that have way less than they do, you know, and providing warmth, even if just for a moment, to somebody that like is without a home at this holiday season. But you guys are ready to soar. You guys are on your way to soaring. A lot of things are being broken through at this time. So maybe you're breaking through your own connections and the connections that you've made about this world or this paradigm, okay? And you're learning new word associations, or learning how to put things together in such a starkly different way than you ever have before, and just the way that you conceptualize things now, visualize things now, and what you can do creatively, having that transformative spirit here, it's going to do tremendous things. Like you're going to do remarkable things. It's tremendous, the changes that you guys have made, or just on a mental level, just how far into the future you can see and maybe predict with accuracy the way that things will be. So a lot of people are going to be coming to you to learn things about what's coming up for the future, what's coming up in their lives. A lot of you guys can be doing a lot of what I'm doing as far as like prophetic words and leaving motivational speeches, but it's not just leaving them with that sense of hope. It's like a declaration with a plan. You know what I mean? So there's no sense of false hope and people just living in a state of fantasy anymore. I feel like you're going to be providing something completely different. You're going to be adding a lot of dignity into the work that you're doing. And there are going to be a lot of people that are just amazed with the way that you think and the way that you move, okay, and will find themselves gravitating towards you in this season that you will find yourself in. And as we're moving along here, I feel like you guys are really going to be those trendsetters or those initiators to really move and venture into uncharted territory here. You're going to be losing the fear and developing courage to really, you know, go beyond what has been done here. Going beyond the limits of the mind and maybe the body even. I'm telling you, it feels crazy. This is some cool ass energy though, Scorpio. So fully embrace it and embody it, you know, and channel it and make it work for you as best as you can. You know, don't abuse any of this energy that you come to be granted, you know, there is some grace here that is bestowed upon you by the universe. But if this video resonated, give me a thumbs up, share this with your friends and family, subscribe for more, and book with me should you need it. But if I don't hear from you, then just do take care of yourself and your soul until you hear from me again, all right? Ciao.